Reigning champion and new number one. Welcome into the Voice of College Football for instant analysis. Buckeyes win at home against number one Texas, 14-7. Let's break it down with all of you. Please like the video and subscribe right here at the Voice of College Football. Keep in mind that we go live with you each and every night, Monday through Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time or post-game. For those of you who predicted the under, and there were many of you, this was pretty much the consensus. Maybe Vegas went broke on this one because it was pretty easy to tell from the get-go that the defenses are elite. The offenses are a work in progress, of course, and the play calling above anything else was going to prevent this from being a shootout for sure. Julian Sayin, let's focus on the Buckeyes quarterback first and foremost. 13 of 20, 120 yards passing. Not exemplary, but considering the circumstances, considering, again, the play calling, and that he really took one shot downfield, and that came through for the Buckeyes in taking a 14-0 lead. Ryan Day said it after the game. He said it at halftime. It was apparent throughout the game. Julian Sayin had control of the offense. He didn't panic. He was poised. He had the composure of a top-flight quarterback, and he executed for the most part. He made no real mistakes in this football game. And right out of the gate, the Buckeyes were not catching the football, even the supposed number one player in the country. He did not look like the best player in the country, did not look like the best player on the field or on his team or on either side. Jeremiah Smith will have better days. I believe he caught 6 for 43 and 3 drops. 2 drops right out of the gate for Jeremiah Smith. And Max Clare let down his new quarterback as well on a 4th down with the Buckeyes driving and needing a conversion. Julian Sayin did a nice job of throwing the ball to the sideline, even though Ryan Day lectured him after the play to apparently go up top to Jeremiah Smith and throw him open. Max Clare was the guy that was open on the sideline and just flat out dropped the football. So the supposed best, one of the best receiving tight ends in college football dropped that one, and Julian Sayin let down by his teammates early, but he was given fairly good pass protection, although there were a number of times, especially when Texas had Ohio State pinned in its own end of the field, which was frequent throughout this game. Julian Sayin suffered from a lot of poor field position in this one, and again, kept his composure. Very impressed with this guy, not necessarily with the jaw-dropping arm talent or anything like that, but no mistakes, kept his composure, kept the team on schedule. Texas only had 1 tackle for loss, as well as the Texas defense played in this game. And the Longhorns were really good against the run, exceptional against the run. They had no sacks on Julian Sayin, and they only had 1 TFL. So Ohio State kept ahead of the chains, and they kept possession of the football. And again, Julian Sayin back in his own end of the field the majority of game, and he was able to navigate the offense. All right, let's talk. Yeah, Max Clare with a big drop. Jeremiah Smith did not show up with his best effort. C.J. Donaldson, obviously the Buckeyes trusted him with the football in his hands. Evan Pryor did get 10 carries and nothing special out of him. And again, the Ohio State offensive line was capable in pass protection much of the time. However, in the run game, it was a struggle for the Buckeyes. C.J. Donaldson, and much trimmed down C.J. Donaldson, much less the plotter that he was with West Virginia, showing a bit more of a burst than he did with the Mountaineers, picked up some meaningful yardage. So while the stats very much favored Texas in the run game, when it mattered, Ohio State got the stops, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, and the Buckeyes defense coming up big in the red zone once again, and on the goal line once again. It was almost like Jack Sawyer, J.T. Tuimoloau, and company never left. That it was Ohio State in the run game overall not looking good. 34 carries, 77 yards. But if you really take out the garbage portion of that, the sacks and the kneel downs and all of that, 29 carries for 87 yards. So the Buckeyes have work to do in the ground game. However, they did pick up the meaningful conversions, and the Ohio State defense was exceptional in this one. But Arch Manning kind of helped him out. Arch Manning did not look good in this game. Let's just be blunt about that. He did not look good. He started to gain a rhythm, and when Sark opened up the offense because he had to, down 14-0, the last couple drives, and specifically that touchdown drive to make it 14-7, yeah, Arch threw his best passes of the ball game. The one that he ripped right down the seam to get the drive started, and then the one for 30 yards over the top that was beautifully thrown. Now he showed off his arm talent so late in the game, but he threw a ton of bad balls in this game from the very first throw of the game when he had a nice little rollout and an easy throw, and he, boom, threw it into the dirt. And over, are you watching this sidearm delivery from Arch Manning? He obviously did not learn how to throw a football from one of his uncles, because they are very systematic, traditional throwers of the football over the top. And he slings it from the side. On a lot of the replays, if you notice, there was a throw that was critical late in the game. It was actually the third down prior to the fourth down that ended the game, where Manning actually made an exceptional play with a defender right in his grill and delivered a football, but Caleb Downs made the play a couple of yards short of the sticks to end the threat for Texas and end the football game. But Arch Manning, on a lot of these throws, it was unnecessarily difficult for his receivers on these crossing routes where he would sling it out sidearm. And if you watch the replay, he came that close to hitting offensive linemen's helmets, where this dude has got the prototypical quarterback frame. He's tall enough, but I don't like this sidearm release. I don't think it's effective, and the ball gets away from him. He's a future NFL quarterback, no question about that, and he's supposed the Heisman favorite. But man, it looked pretty bad most of the game. Again, he got into a flow, and maybe Sark held him back. Both quarterbacks were held back. Both coaches held it tight to the vest, and it paid off for Ryan Day. No question about that in the end. Texas right tackle Brandon Baker had a number of false starts, and even when he did not have a false start that was called, he was backing up in his stance all day. That said, Ohio State's pass rush was generally non-existent. And so my analysis of Arch Manning, in addition to him not looking great, it was that he had the opportunity to look great. It wasn't the Ohio State pass rush bearing down on him. They had one sack, and they brought some pressure late in the game because they probably believed that they had to on the final two drives of the game, and got some pressure on Arch Manning. Otherwise, he had plenty of time to throw, and he was just not throwing the football well. Again, until the final two drives, we saw the arm talent. And of course, the great play made by Livingstone on Jermaine Matthews for the Texas touchdown to get them back in the ball game. It looked like the Buckeyes had salted this one away 14-0, but Arch Manning, again, out of necessity, they open up the playbook. He rips it down the field for a few tremendous throws, and then takes it down the sideline where Livingstone separated at the last second from Matthews, made the contested catch. The review, I believe, was properly called, that it was a touchdown to make it 14-7. Trey Wisner's a tremendous back. He's not exceptionally talented. I don't know how he projects to Sunday, but as a college football back against this defense, 16 carries, 80 yards, that was mostly him. Texas ran it for 4.5 yards per carry, and obviously Arch Manning made some guys miss in the open field. Buckeye would-be tacklers took poor angles on the edge at Arch Manning. You could see it a few seconds before it happened. Hey, you got to play outside in, and they would get burned, and he would juke them out and pick up additional yardage. On the Buckeye side, Davison Igbinosun had probably the best game of his career. 10 tackles in run support and on the perimeter. He had a key pass defense on a fourth down play to negate a touchdown. And Jermaine Matthews, this was another poor throw by Eli. I go through the Manning list and Rolodex in my head every time I'm about to say Arch Manning, and it almost came out Eli there. Arch Manning with the interception. Jermaine Matthews made the play on it. And again, he was going for Trey Wingo. He was patting the football. He had all day. He had a clean pocket. It was like practice. And he underthrew it, threw it late, underthrew it, needed to get it out to the sideline and deeper. And Jermaine Matthews undercut the throw for an interception. And again, the Ohio State defense was exceptional in the red zone, fourth downs, goal lines, the whole deal. And Carnell Tate, what a play he made to make it 14-0 for the Buckeyes. He also made an exceptional play between he and Sayin when they were getting in another situation, backed up in their own end zone. And on a 3rd and long, Sayin found Tate. I thought it was an exceptional play by Sayin. The broadcast focused on the Carnell Tate play in coming back to the football to convert that to give the Buckeyes some room to later punt. But yeah, Carnell Tate with the juggling catch for the touchdown, and Ohio State wins this game 14-7. So we have 2 of the top 3 or 4 teams in the country. They did not allow their young quarterbacks to lose the football game. That's one of the big reasons why we had a 14-7 game. Plus, we had 2 of the best defenses in the country. And Ohio State needs to work on the running game. Otherwise, Julian Sayin looks good. Arch Manning, I don't know if this is who he is. If it is, then he's just another version of Quinn Ewers, just in a different mold. As a passer, he's a running threat, of course, that Ewers was not. All right, the Buckeyes will be the new number 1, both by the people that don't know what they're doing at the AP and the coaches poll, I'm sure, but right here at the Voice of College Football, they defeated the best team that we have seen, although there's an opportunity, I guess, for LSU, Clemson, or somebody else to be more impressive. Texas, next outing at home against San Jose State. We saw the Spartans go down to Central Michigan on Friday night. And then the next time we see Texas, where it really matters, where we can evaluate this football team and see if they've grown, would be a date against Florida on the road on October 4th. For the Buckeyes, it's in a few weeks after they take on Grambling and Ohio. That pushed Rutgers to a 3-point game. But most likely it's the trip to Seattle against Washington the final weekend of September for the Buckeyes. Please like and subscribe right here at the Voice of College Football. Keep in mind that we've got a Buckeyes live show with myself, Tony Gerdeman, Kevin Noon, and Steve Hellwagon Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and a Buckeye show just about every night of the week with Mike Wilson and with our buddy Garrison. Lock it in right here at the Voice of College Football. We'll see you on a Saturday night post game. Give me a call right here at the Voice of College Football.